Just tell me what you've got to say to me. I've been waiting for so long to hear the truth. It comes as no surprise at all, you see. So cut the crap and tell me that we're through. Now I know your heart, I know your mind. You don't even know you're being unkind. So much for all your highbrow Marxist ways. Just use me up and then you walk away. Oh, you can't play me that way. Well, I guess what you say is true. I could never be the right kind of girl for you. I could never be your woman. I could never
Or be your woman. 802-333-0483. Open lines every single night here on the Every Single Night Show. That number again is 802-333-0483. My name is Jesse, and I'm coming to you live every single night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Central, from the great state of Texas, right outside the city of Austin, nestled deep inside the Texas Hill Country. Today is Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, and it's the Every Single Night Show. And there it is. There it is. Ha ha. Ooh, ee ee. Ooh. Hello, everybody. Hello. We missed last night, but that was all planned. Thanks for coming back to the Every Single Night Show. My name is Jesse. I come to you live every single night. Have my Waterloo tonight. It's a summer berry. R Novak 99 calls it weird, bubbly water. And he's true. He's true. It is true. Now I got to turn this off now. That was Your Woman by a band called Whitetown. Actually, not a band. I think it was a one-man project. That song came out in 1997. I remember the video. It was just very lo-fi, very interesting. But I don't know if it was meant to be a hit, but it became a hit. The song is called Your Woman. And I think it hit number one in the UK. It did okay here. It did okay here in the States. Is this loud enough? Anyway, it did okay in the States. Jeff checking in on the YouTube chat. Plow Production checking in on the YouTube chat. Good to see you, gentlemen. Thanks for checking in. And it did okay here in the States. I mean, I think it did like top 50 or something. But I remember the video. It was very lo-fi. But the song was about, I mean, look, I'm not going to interpret what it was about. But it's this guy repeating, "I can never be your woman." I think he fell in love with a lesbian. He did. That's what's going on there. I can never be your woman. Do. He fell in love with a lesbian. It happens all the time. Look, and lesbians love me. They love me. Can't get enough of me. But this guy, he fell in love with a lesbian. You don't want to fall in love with a lesbian, because they won't love you back. 802-333. Hold on. I think I can push this button. Look at that. 802-333-0483. That is the Hill Country Hotline here on the Every Single Night Show. I got to check the ringer. Is it on? It's on. Oh, I got to add this to the Spotify playlist. This is a mess. The Every Single Night Show Spotify playlist is available on Spotify. Hit the link in our social media at Too Dumb for This on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can find a little button that takes you to the Spotify playlist where you can follow along and listen to the music that I play on the show. Now, of course, that is Jeff, what man hasn't? I hear you, brother. I hear you, because there's some cool lesbians, lots of them. I get along with lesbians very, very well. Very well. They love me and I love them. Can't get enough of them. Yeah, that's featured on the Spotify playlist. If you listen to the podcast version of this, I'm still like 2 weeks behind of uploading the podcast version of this episode to the RSS feed available on Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. The Call Me Daddy podcast. Spotify just acquired that from Barstool Sports for like $60 million. Or Call Her Daddy. I think Call Her Daddy. I don't know. It's like the number one podcast on Apple. Or was for a very, very long time. There was some drama. I don't know. It was like two girls talking about dates and blowjobs. I listened to it once. And I found it to be a little unlistenable. But look, I'm not going to judge. They found an audience, and that's fantastic. That's $60 million. Now, I don't know the numbers. I don't know the terms of the deal. But I will say that is no Joe Rogan number. That is no Joe Rogan deal. And she's like this blonde girl from New York. And she just got $60 million. Now, I don't think it goes to her. I think it goes to Barstool Sports because Barstool broke the show, made the show. She's a host. I don't know how much she gets. Probably a shitload of money. Probably a millionaire. But that's okay. With the cost of inflation, she might have a nice middle class life. That is okay. So thank you so much for tuning into the Every Single Night Show. I almost skipped tonight because I had a headache earlier, but then it wouldn't be the Every Single Night Show. It would be the Every Time I Feel Like It show. And that's not what this is all about. That's not what this is all about. My one of my favorite comedy troupes, the Auntie Donna show, they announced that they're going on tour, but unfortunately, it's only in Australia. I encourage you to check out the Auntie Donna show and see them if they come to the United States. 802-333-0483. What is going on? It's hotter than hell down here. Although I called my grandfather today because it's his birthday. Happy birthday, grandfather. Grandpa. I call him grandpa. I don't call him grandfather. How are you, grandfather? But happy birthday, 89 years old. That's a big deal. He has a couple wiener dogs. And he watches the show. So happy birthday. Hope you're having a great evening, great night. Love you lots. Smash the like button, subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast, wherever you watch the podcast. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. We talked about the song of the day, blah, blah, blah. We got to talk about this energy crisis because when I called my grandparents today, they said it was 105 in Kansas. They're in Kansas. I'm here in Austin, Texas, which is basically the equator, basically Mexico. And it was in the 90s today. And that's hotter than hell. Hotter than hell. Now, Austin one year had 5 months of 100 plus degree weather. Jeff checking in. Happy birthday, Leo. I'll feature that. There you go. But today, the mayor of Austin, because as you know, if you listen to the show, Texas has its own energy grid because everything has to be bigger and better in Texas, but it's not better. It's just bigger and worse because it's just a shit show. It's a mess. Just a few months ago, when we had freezing temperatures, we had these massive statewide rolling blackouts. People almost froze to death. I assume some did. I don't really know for sure. I did not freeze to death. I almost froze to death. It was very, very scary. And then because the blackouts happened, the water treatment plant, it's just this series of cascading failures. Because of the rolling blackouts, the water treatment plants had to shut down and you couldn't drink water. You couldn't use your water. So everybody was freezing to death. They had no electricity, no groceries, and they couldn't drink their water. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Welcome to Texas. And yet everybody wants to move here. Stay away. That's what I say. Stay away. I know grass is always greener, but look, I'm telling you, I live here. I've been here for a decade. It's a lot. And this is a mess. So today, I think it was today. Well, now that it's June. It's not even the hottest time of the year. And this week has been a nightmare for the Texas energy grid. And they're saying, you guys can't use it. You got to conserve. You got to stop using it because everything's the shit's going to hit the fan. So please stop using electricity. It's all this Bitcoin mining we're doing down here. It's not. I'm kidding, of course. But Austin is fighting with the mayor. His name is Steve Adler. He is fighting with the governor Abbott, who signed into law. He's busy. What did he do recently? I don't know. I mean, what didn't he do? We basically banned abortions. He legalized conceal and carry without a permit. There's no training is required anymore if you want to carry a concealed weapon. Texas did a really good job of preventing my brown people from voting in the last election. And now, because that's something you need to focus on, but this power grid issue, no one can seem to fix. So here we go. Austin Mayor Governor Abbott doesn't seem to care about unreliable ERCOT power grid. The guy on the left here, that's our mayor, Steve Adler. The guy on the right here, that's our Texas Governor, Greg Abbott. But you got to see this message. It's day 2. This is what Mayor Adler said. Now look at that. He says, Mayor Adler, get vaccinated. Yeah, Texas down there, they don't care either about getting vaccinated. I think we're like 1 out of every 3 is vaccinated. He says it's day 2 of conservation warnings from Greg Abbott. Delicate power infrastructure. It's still technically spring, and Texas is experiencing late summer temperatures. Power plants offline, and the governor is tweeting about a border wall that he can't fund. Yeah, so Abbott is concerned about this border wall situation. And then Mayor Adler continues, and from his official Governor Abbott account, boasting about Texas being good for business. Maybe when a corporation tells the governor that an unreliable power grid is bad for business, he'll finally listen. He doesn't seem to care about whether it's bad for people. we can't even get our officials to, I mean, look, I guess this is common. Government officials not getting along. Let's see what's Jeff saying. Going to be getting an influx of miners from China. That won't put an additional strain on the grid, right? Yeah, but we'll have that tasty Bitcoin. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Abbott's plan to, I guess, embrace cryptocurrency. I mean, look, he's just trying to do anything he can do to get business here. That's it. And they say, hey, there's no state income tax. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal, though. I mean, if you are, from New York or California, anywhere else with the state income tax, that means if you rent, you can, and you get a job and you rent your property, it's kind of like living for free. You get a little pay raise, and that pays that covers your room. So if you are in New York City making $30,000 a year, and they take out $15,000 for income taxes, I'm just making numbers up. None of this is real. And then you move to Austin, Texas. Well, you don't have to pay that income tax just to Texas, so you can put that money into your housing. So it's kind of, if you rent, it's kind of like living for free. However, if you own property, I mean, they still love their taxes. The state's like, oh, there's no state income tax. Come to us. We're good for business. And then all those other countries or all those other states, they tax the hell out of you for government programs they won't use. No. They get their tax money. I've never seen higher property taxes on anything than here in Texas. They get their money. It is not all Wild West down here when it comes to what they get. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that nonsense. But yeah, we're still having Texas power grid issues. No one's getting along here. The governor is focused on border walls and gun laws and abortions, but he can't give businesses electricity. I don't get it. But I don't get a lot of things. So what else is new? We got to talk about this. Bigfoot continues his march into the public. This is a big deal. Every day there's breaking Bigfoot news. So there's a new Bigfoot festival happening in West Virginia. So every day, look at this guy. That's Bigfoot. This August 8th, 2019 photo shows Bigfoot masks on display at Expedition Bigfoot, the Sasquatch Museum in Cherry Log, Georgia. But here we go. Bigfoot, West Virginia, having first ever Bigfoot festival. Bigfoot can't stay out of the news these days. He just can't. I think we're gearing up for something big. And no pun intended. But I think we're gearing up for something big. The Bigfoot Museum is open to the public in West Virginia. The museum in Sutton, West Virginia, takes a scientific look at Bigfoot. The museum will provide eyewitness accounts, castings of footprints, and a map of sightings in West Virginia. The museum will also be putting on the first ever Bigfoot Festival. Look at the schedule. There you go. Bigfoot Symposium, 10:30 a.m., Dusty Ruth. I don't know who that is. 12 p.m., Doug Waller. 1:15 p.m., George Dudding. 2:30 p.m., Les Odell and Daniel Boone Smith. Daniel Boone Smith. That's his name. This is a big deal. Look at this grand opening of the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. live music strum-alongs. 11:30 a.m. Bigfoot reading. 12 to 2 live music. And I guess it just ends at 2. I don't know. The festival will include arts, crafts, food, and live music. I think something like this would go over well here in Texas because everything is bigger in Texas. So I think if you have a Bigfoot conference, a Bigfoot festival, you could do it here in Texas, although you won't have the energy to power it. But that's a big deal. Every day, Bigfoot can't stay out of the news. I think we're gearing up for something big. I think Bigfoot is about to make a big announcement. I mean, he already called in to that Nebraska conference. I haven't heard audio, but I heard it happened. So Bigfoot is he's being sighted everywhere. I don't know. Is it one? Is it multiple? Is it Bigfoot or Big Feet? I don't know, but they're all over the place. And I think they are living among us. I think they are in the woods. I think there's something big about to break with Bigfoot because every day there seems to be a new Bigfoot story. And cattle mutilations that keeps going on. I mean, look, I don't want to make this the paranoia show, but there's just every day there's new weird stuff happening. Because let me pull this up. I found this today. Where is it? Cattle mutilations are still happening. I thought that was like a 90s thing, but they're still going on. Alien experiment, violent crime, or natural occurrence. Cattle mutilations in the West continue. Bizarre cases of the cattle being killed and left with body parts missing have been reported all over the American West since at least the 70s. Ranchers grow wary of losses while investigators still have to catch a single suspect. But what's happening here? So this has been ongoing for decades. Ranchers are finding cattle in their fields just mutilated. And the hypothesis is aliens. Or is it Big Feet? I don't know. No one knows. But there's been an uptick. So it's happening again. All of this is happening. It's all coming together. Big Feet, UFOs, cattle mutilations. Boom, boom, boom. We're gearing up for something big, folks. I tell you. Since the beginning of 2021, cattle ranchers in Central Oregon's Crook County have found several cattle dead in the fields. But what makes those deaths so mysterious is the condition of their bodies. No blood, missing, but no blood. No blood. That is weird. Bigfoot sucked it all out. But what makes those deaths so mysterious is the condition of their bodies. No blood, missing body parts, seemingly surgical incisions, and extraction of organs and genitalia. So somebody's going out into the fields, finding a cow, sucking out all its blood, and cutting off its penis with a surgical knife. Oh my God. That is some dark shit. What is that? What is that? Cattle mutilations aren't new to Oregon or to the West Coast, but at least one expert says the mysterious deaths are caused by forces outside of our world. Theories about what is happening to the animals vary. Some say it's part of the natural decomposition. That's not part of the natural decomposition process. It's not. For some say it's part of the natural decomposition process to be cut open surgically and have your penis removed and have your blood sucked out. No, I'm sorry. That is not natural. Others, I would look to them. I would ask those people questions. I'd be very suspicious of anybody who says that's a natural cause. Others blame scavengers and people working to hurt the ranchers by affecting their bottom line. Look, and if you're trying to affect the rancher's bottom line, you're not going through all that trouble. You're just like you're stealing a cow or something. You're not going to suck out all its blood and cut off its penis. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that penis? Mold it? Tape it to your own genitalia? I don't know. Super glue it on your butt? One expert said the cattle mutilations are the result of some out of this world experimentation. Linda Moulton Howe, a journalist and paranormal investigator, has been investigating cattle mutilations since 1979. She believes the bloodless, trackless animal deaths are evidence that we are being visited by extraterrestrials. I began investigating bloodless, trackless animal mutilations, domestic and wild, in Colorado in September 1979 when I was director of special projects at the CBS station KMGH TV in Denver, Colorado. Howe said that again and again she heard from law enforcement and other investigators that the attacks were preceded by lights in the sky. That's what's going on. This is big news, people. And there's been an uptick. This is happening in 2021 because this went on for decades, but now it's happening again. Right when we get this UFO report. Right when we get the UFO report. As part of her investigation, Howe discovered these kinds of cattle mutilations have gone on around the world for decades. I quickly learned they were not confined to Colorado. I have been in almost every state in the United States and in Canada. I talked with a producer of the BBC in London. They had found a journal that went back to 1904 in Australia, where sheep were mutilated, tongues gone, genitals gone, random organs removed, but no blood. So there you go. This article goes on and on. This is on the Daily Yonder. Wait, is that a real website? Some say these are all just natural deaths. And that's not, look, if you're going to look at that and say that's natural, then you're not living in reality, bub. You're just not doing it. When an animal dies in the field, predation sets in very quickly, the first responders being insects and birds. Now, look, fine, sure, the exposed skin dries and shrinks tight, giving the impression of a perfect scalpel-like slice. No, but okay, but what about the penis? What about the penis? It being cut off. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen naturally. So yeah, we either have a bunch of pervs out there or big feet or aliens. I don't know what they're doing, but they're taking these cattle and they're doing weird shit to it. So if you are a cattle rancher, keep your cows close. Maybe put them in your bed. But we got to keep watching that. Got to keep watching that. And then I want to while we're on the topic of weirdos, I looked for Duggar news. I couldn't find Josh Duggar news tonight, unfortunately, because I was in the mood to talk about Josh Duggar. Although there is an update, the court case will keep the identities of his alleged victims private, which is, I believe, common. So that's not really news. But that is the latest update on the Duggar trial. Where am I? This whole new system. Sometimes the audio doesn't work. It's bizarre. And I let them know. I'm like, hey, sometimes your audio doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work, I don't know that it doesn't work. I don't know. I still can't get these buttons to work. I'm sitting here pushing them. Song of the day doesn't go out. I'm doing my best here, people. I'm doing my best. But here we go. Here's a Cape Coral. Claims to have seen UFO. Look at this. Look at this video. Oh my God. An ad. Here, let's all pause our life while we watch FloridaSeawallSolutions.com. They should pay for this spot. Look at that. That's in the sky. Look at that right there. It looks like a lens flare, if I'm being honest. Jeff here in the YouTube chat is he's a photographer. I don't know. That looks like a lens flare to me. This guy's like, I've seen a UFO. The man who saw it said at one point the aircraft was, I mean, look, he saw this thing hovering though. At one point the aircraft was hovering right over his car like they were ready to shine a beam down on him, trying to absorb him into what he calls a UFO. Jose Caraduega was on his way home from work when he first saw wait, what the hell am I reading here? Jose Caraduega was on his way home from work when he saw the first of two UFOs. He says it's like nothing he's ever seen before. The light began to separate into two and then come back together. Look at this ad. I've never searched for anything like that in my life. I would look like a badass though in those shorts or pants. What are those? Pants shorts? Short pants? I don't. What are those? I mean, you would look tough. No one would fuck with you if you wore this jacket and those pants, those khaki pants. I promise I've never searched for that, but I'm getting an ad for it because they know I would look like a badass in it. Look at that. You're all business up here, but then down here, you want to keep it relaxed. Just 5 minutes away on Santa Barbara Boulevard, he took pictures of another aircraft. It was a black diamond with lights on the side and one red light towards the center, not all the way to the back of the craft. I was like, holy shit, that's a UFO, said Caraduega. That's not nothing from here. Caraduega stopped in the middle of the road and stared into the sky. We were just in awe, he said. It was right overhead, floating over us, basically. There was no sound. It was magnificent. I mean, let's see. When was this? Yeah, this is Friday, June 11th. This was just a couple days ago. It's the silent part that catches the attention of 24-year-old veteran Air Force pilot Kevin Rousseau. We don't have any silent running aircraft or helicopters that I know of in our world at this time, said Rousseau. The craft's quick maneuvering also raised a red flag about what really was flying over the Cape. It's similar to what U.S. Navy pilots saw in recently surfaced videos filmed as recent as 2015. So there you go. Lights in the sky, cattle mutilations. First thing I thought, lesbians would be all over you. Yeah. If I wore those pants. Oh, that's funny. Those pants. I might have to get them. Maybe I'll wear them on the show. Good Lord. Let's see. We'll talk about crypto. What did I buy today? Bought Bitcoin. I bought Ethereum. And I bought some Polkadot. I took a couple days off, not buying because we had a rally. Bitcoin went from 35,000 to one point, I think almost hit 41,000. It was a big deal. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. We're getting ready to go up again. And it didn't. But I did not buy on those days. Maybe I think I bought a little bit of Bitcoin because I'm like, well, it could easily go up. It could keep going up. And if I don't buy now, then I'll be like, well, I should have bought it at 40,000. So I bought a little bit, but then it fell back down. And today was a down day. 4 to 6% generally across the board down, 4 to 7% down. But yeah, I bought some more Ethereum, bought some more Bitcoin, and I bought some Polkadot because Polkadot is now trading, I believe, but I bought it on Coinbase Pro. Polkadot is on Coinbase Pro. And apparently Texas loves crypto so much, but they won't, I don't know. Binance is not allowed here in Texas. That could be Binance's thing. That could be licensing. I don't know. I'm sure Texas would be okay with them, but I can't use them down here. So this is my first Polkadot buy, even though I've been looking for places to get it, and lots of places have Polkadot. But this is the first time that I have purchased Polkadot, and I feel really good about it. Finally. The only thing I can't get, there are a few projects that I can't find. I can't get Theta. I've tried swapping that on MetaMask wallet. I can't get theta. Can't get what else am I excited about? A Solana. But Solana is having this big pump. I mean, you can't just buy Solana right now. Let's see if I can pull this up. Nope, that's not it. That is not it at all. Do. I will never be your woman. Do. So here you go. In a market or in a down market, Solana was up today. So yeah, you can't be buying Solana right now. I mean, look, I don't know, but you don't want to be surprised. So here we go. This is a Solana. This is when you should have bought Solana back here. You know, when Solana was, I don't even know what that number is. $2. You know, and at its peak, Solana hit 55. So that would have been the time to buy Solana. Or right there, of course. In May, I did not buy Solana. But now, as everything else is shit in the bed, Solana is pumping. Kind of. It's having a nice little rally. But if you compare this to I mean, remember this curve right here. Let's pull up Cosmos, right? I like Cosmos. I own a lot of Cosmos. This is what is happening to everything else. Just went down and it stayed down. You know, so Solana is doing pretty well, and I would like to add some to my portfolio. Anyway, that's the show. That's what I have for you. I bought more Bitcoin, more Ethereum, and Polkadot for the first time. I'm excited to be in the Polkadot business. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the Every Single Night Show. My name is Jesse. I come to you live 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Central from the great state of Texas. My lights are still on. My electricity is still working, and I'm very happy for that. Thank you for tuning in. Happy birthday, Grandpa. You guys have a good night. I know I will. Bye-bye.
Let's do it to it, honey.
The Pope takes a poop and the President too, and the fancy pants banker in his three-piece suit. The big fat general and all of his troops. The truth of the matter is everybody poops. The famous brain surgeon has to leave his lump, and the high-priced model has to stop for a dump. But can the size of Canada can't spray away the truth, cause even if they don't admit it, everybody poops. Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Sure things number more than two. Death and taxes and everybody poops. Some days it's easy, other days it's hard. But if your system's working, take your lucky stars. Nobody talks about it, not a word is said. But if you're not pooping, then it means you're probably dead. The destitute and homeless have to do it, it's true. But even all the wealthy people gotta make do. And if you live long enough, it's happening to you. Sooner or later, everybody poops. Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Sure things number more than two. Death and taxes and everybody poops. Death and taxes and everybody poops. Death and taxes and everybody